Alright, this video is for you, Dayton. Um, Today was honestly super shit, so I'll kind of tell you the break-even trade I got, and then these were evals. Like, I hit one trade and I fucking made too much, so I had to lose money and whatever these executions are. Forget about this. I'll break down this trade, but I'll show you the first trade I took where I got BE. And so I have two entry triggers. First one is a sweep, and then IFVG, and I like to see some sort of AMD. And then my other one is just a short or a long, an IFVG out of an unfilled high time frame gap. So that could be like 5, 15, 30, or an hourly. Are my main thing. So these are only you got to think about there's hundreds of IFEGs every single day, right? But you kind of have to dumb it down to what you like and what you've seen that works. And for me, in all honesty, the one thing that does work the best for me, in my opinion, is like an unfilled 15, and then we have an SMT with ES, and then we have a 30-second IFEG. The biggest thing I will say about, I guess you could say, my model or how I trade is I really only take 30 seconds. And the reason I do this is because I have a very high conviction in the draw and momentum. So the only thing about taking 30 seconds is if you're taking a 30-second, right? So let's say I want to take a 30-second. And let's say I'm fading a 1 minute. So let's say it's something like this. Let's say there's a 30-second here, and there's a 1 minute, like, let's say here, right? This would be my BE point. So if I'm taking a 30-second, anticipating the move is going to go lower or higher, I'm going to go break even at the first unfilled gap, whether that's a 1 minute, that could be a 2 minute, a 3 minute. But I really don't like to take anything other than 30 seconds and 1 minutes. The one thing I will do is, let's say there's a 30-second right here and then a 1 minute right here, like they're both stacked. I'll just wait for the 1 minute in that case. But for the most part, I do take 30 seconds. That's kind of my trigger. So basically my two entry triggers are an unfilled gap, and then a 30-second to go lower. So like my biggest thing is, let's say we have a low here, right? And then let's say we have like a 5 minute here. Let's say we do something like this, right? Or here, let me redo this. Let's say we do something like this. Say price goes here, and we edge this low, right? And then we come back and hit this gap, right? And then we have some sort of AMD. So we manipulate here, we manipulate these highs. We're building LR to this main draw. Like let's say this is the 4-hour low. We come, we edge it, we have an unfilled gap, we hit it, and then we sell off. So all we're doing is building LR to go get. So this is like my main trigger. This setup has made me so much fucking money. Is when we'll edge a low, we'll open a gap, and then like the 15-minute candle will open up. This is another big thing. Damn, I'm giving you straight gas right now. This is another big thing. Let's say, okay, we open a 5 minute here, right? And we have let's say this is a 4-hour low here. Let's say, okay, we're edging this low, and then let's say that this candle right here is the 15-minute candle opening, which it literally was. This is like a perfect example. So you can expect a 15-minute candle. This is what I like to think about, right? So 15-minute, 30-minute, and hourly candles. I'm really bad at typing and spelling, so gotta bear with me. 15, 30-minute, and hourly candles have to print a top and bottom wick, right? So what can you expect when we have a 4-hour low here, we have an unfilled 5 minute here, and we have a 15-minute candle opening? We can expect a 15-minute candle to manipulate, print the top wick, and then deliver us back down to the lows. So that's kind of the biggest thing. A 15-minute candle or a 30-minute candle, it has to print a top and bottom wick, right? Every candle has to do that unless you have a death candle like this, right? So that's my biggest thing is candles. 15-minute candle opens. My really good setup is also like a PO3. So let's say, like I said, 5-minute gap, 15-minute candle opens. We manipulate into here, and then we distribute to the low. That's a really good setup. So those are kind of like my two entry triggers, I would say, is PO3, unfilled gaps, 30-second inversions, and then sweeps. So I'll show you the trade I took that I got break even on. So coming in the market, I was honestly bullish until these kind of highs, just because we were inversing everything. Another thing I do is set conditions, right? So in my head, over obviously my conditions changed, but we were either going to come in this 4-hour gap, or we were going to go to all-time highs, and that is because we inversed this, right, with all this momentum. I know we have NWOG to fill, but I wasn't really too convinced on longs, especially after inversing all of this, right? We inversed all this shit. But in my head, I had a condition as if we inverse this hourly, I'll look for shorts to the 4-hour, which is exactly what I did, and that's kind of it. So you kind of have to hold conditions, right? So yeah, let me break down the break-even trade I took and then the win I took. So it's 4-hour low coming in a market. Dude, I have like fucking cologne in my fucking mouth or something, bro. So yeah, perfect. Coming in a market, right? This 4-hour low on ES, right? Never swept it. We sweep it on NQ, so we have an SMT. This was honestly a really early trade, but I was super confident in it, and I just got fucking ran. Here, let me open my top step because I don't have the 30-second on. Whatever that is. Okay, so 9:30. Okay, boom. So the 4-hour low that we took, I'm just gonna say it was like right here. I'm not gonna do all that. So the 4-hour low we took here, this is where I kind of got fucked, because I'm trying to pass these evals and I wasn't able to get my right entry. But we swept the 4-hour low, right? And the biggest thing I look at is displacement candles. If we're displacing through a gap like this after sweeping a high time frame low and taking out some sort of buy sell side, manipulating in some way, I can expect price to, in my head, run. The biggest thing is like displacement candles with gaps. So it really should have been something like this, and I honestly should have just targeted this high, but I was going for these highs, and I mean, you can see my break even got hit. Like, my idea was right, but it was just too early, so it ended up getting me break even. This was a fucking brutal break even. I think I took 2 minis to have past these fucking evals, and bro, this shit literally, I needed like a 1 to 1.5. This shit edged me so bad, but I got a shitty fill. This was the issue, is I was looking at, by the time 30-second inverse, we were already like here, and I needed a 1 to 1.5, like literally the worst edge. I'll show you. Probably something like this. Literally fucking like 5 ticks, bro. Like, that shit was brutal. Okay, whatever. So that was a trade I took. That was one of my internal models. 4-hour sweep of liquidity with an SMT with ES, 30-second displacement candle. There's no 1 minute there, so that's why I went break even. Remember I was telling you I take 30 seconds, go break even at 1 minute gaps. So I took this 30-second, and I knew we had this 1 minute gap above, so I just ran my stop. So I ran something like this. Went here, and then I went break even at this 1 minute. And this 1 minute inversing, I really thought we were gonna go to these highs, but I just got fucking pissed on. It's kind of stupid and it's annoying, but it's whatever. So I took the 30-second, but I went break even at the 1 minute. So it looks something like this, right? You take this 30-second because you're anticipating the move instead of waiting for your entry. Like, let's say you took the 1 minute. Okay, you're taking this shit way up here. I'm not doing that. So I'm taking the 30-second and I'm going break even at the swing 1 minute. Gas. It was a really good setup in my opinion. Second trade. This was another gas setup in my opinion. This wasn't necessarily a gap, but it was an SMT. So here, let me turn these executions off real quick, bro. Shit is so annoying. So this high, as you can see here, right? ES took it, NQ didn't. So we have an SMT. And my biggest thing was we had this unfilled 15 right here. So ES had an SMT with this high into this 15-minute gap. So, like I said, this is like my best model I can like literally ask for. ES takes the high inside of a 15-minute unfilled gap on NQ. ES takes it, NQ doesn't. And we just, let me go here. So this was the SMT. This was the SMT here. So, like I said, this was the SMT. We have no 2 minutes, no 3 minutes, no 4 minutes. So, honestly, with how we're moving down and how bearish we are, keep in mind I still have this 4 hour as my draw. Give me 2 seconds. Hello.
Hey.
What up?
I'm on the way.
Alright. Just let me know when you're here.
Alright, I'll be there in like 6 minutes.
Alright, I love you.
I love you.
Alright. So like I said, since we inverses 1 hour, I have this 4 hour as my draw. So I'm anticipating price to continue this move down at least into this 4 hour, right? So in this instinct, 4 hour, sorry, I think I marked out the wrong 4 hour. So this 4 hour, right? Look how just obvious this is. We build LR, right? We're building this low resistance liquidity to this 4 hour gap. Okay, so boom, we have our SMT here, right? So we can see on ES, I'll kind of show you. So this high, this is a 15-minute gap. ES takes it, NQ doesn't. So boom. And keep in mind, I don't have that shit on the, I don't have a 30-second on fucking, I mean, on that shit, so find out where this shit was. Right here. So this is bread and butter, literally bread and butter. So we have that SMT. We have this 30-second. Like I said, the displacement gets me every single time. So we have the SMT inside this 15-minute, and then we have this 30-second inversion to target this unfilled 4 hour. Right? This was just so perfect. And then you can go break even. Really is no BE point. I mean, I guess you could have went break even at this swing low. Yeah, I would have went break even at this swing low. I was just on eval, so I didn't catch the whole move. I only caught like this. But if I was trading, I would have targeted the 4 hour. Like the displacement candle just told me everything I needed to know. Keep in mind, this is at 11:36 too. SMT 15-minute, 30-second inversion, and then you could have even targeted the lows. Like this was a super gas setup. But that is basically how I trade. Like 2 setups that I took that I could show you the best way. Yeah, if you got any questions, just let me know, and I can make another one of these as well. So, you got you, gang.